Okay, welcome everybody to a lesson on clothes and fashion. But I wanted to start by doing sniff at, because I didn't get time to do it in a previous class, so I didn't have a good example. So to sniff at something is to consider something unimportant or not valuable, not worth your time. And this is logical because when you sniff, it's disapproval. You don't think it's worthwhile or you don't think it's important. So this one is very often used with money, and you very often hear it in the negative. You hear something like £300 is not to be sniffed at, meaning it's not a small amount of money. It's a big amount of money. It's not a amount of money that is worth very little. Yeah, because when you sniff at something, you disapprove of it or you consider it unimportant or not valuable. And so, yeah, if you say £300 is not to be sniffed at, you're saying it's a large amount of money. Very, well, quite common with money. Okay, so some other phrasal verbs, but connected to the theme of clothes and fashion. Put on, take off. Memorize that one, guys, because I hear mistakes with it all the time. Put and take are opposites. It's not put on, put off, yeah, or anything like that, or take on, take off. No, put on, take off, just like it's put together, take apart. Put something in your pocket, take something out of your pocket. Put and take are often opposites. So those two definitely memorise, but you can also fling something on, sling something on, or sling something off, and even throw something on, throw something off. And these are just quite idiomatic, but they're quick ways of getting dressed. Yeah, if you fling on a t-shirt, or if you fling on a short sleeve silk shirt, then you put it on quickly. That's all it means. Yeah, or you throw on, I don't know, a brand new leather jacket. Now these words here, long sleeve, short sleeve. These are your sleeves, yeah? And I roll up my sleeves when I do that, yeah? And so I think we've got roll up, there it is, roll up and unroll your sleeves, yeah? So you could have a short sleeve t-shirt or a long sleeve t-shirt. And if it's got long sleeves, they go to your wrist. The sleeves go all the way to your wrist, yeah? So you could have a long sleeve or short sleeve silk shirt. This is a material, silk. I think it's made from, I think spiders' webs make, I'm not sure, but I believe this material comes from spiders. And a shirt, I know everybody knows what a shirt is. A shirt has a collar usually, and the collar is, it's the bit there, yeah, I don't have a collar really on this one, but it's, you put your tie under the collar usually. Anyway, you've got a short sleeve, long sleeve silk shirt, which you might fling on, sling on, throw on. You also might have a brand new leather jacket. Leather is another material. My sofa is a leather sofa. So furniture is very often made of leather, but leather jacket, yeah, I don't have a leather jacket, but most people do somewhere. It's a very common item of clothing, and they don't usually have a hood, actually, leather jackets. In fact, they very rarely have a hood, but a hood is the bit which goes on top of your head. And you sometimes hear them called hoodies nowadays. Youngsters quite often wear hoodies, yeah. But we would say with a hood or a hooded jacket. A jacket with a hood, a hooded jacket. And remember the brand new collocation, because that's very common. You know, you buy something brand new, it means completely new. Okay, you probably want to try your clothes on before you buy them to make sure that they are the right size, to make sure that they fit. Yeah, and you've got to make sure clothes fit first, and that's why you try them on. And you might try on a spotted, woolly sweater. Yeah, and spotted means those dots. Yeah, sometimes it's called dotted. In fact, spotted or dotted, but spotted is more common. A spotted, woolly or woolen sweater. Yeah, wool is a material, it comes from sheep, I believe. So a spotted woolly sweater, a striped woolly jumper. Jumper and sweater are the same. Stripes means that pattern, yeah. And all of these are patterns, by the way. That's important because that's also a closed word. All of these are types of pattern. Yeah, they're a spotted pattern, a striped pattern. Plain means no pattern. Yeah, so it's not a pattern. Plain, it means no pattern. I'm wearing a plain jumper. Most of my clothes are plain. I don't actually like wearing patterned clothes. So you might be wearing a plain dressing gown, something like that. Now, a dressing gown is what you wear, what you put on very often, what you sling on when after you've come out the shower, or maybe you sling it on in the mornings when you're not dressed. But we call this a dressing gown, and in the US they call it a bathrobe. They've got a different word for it in the US, but I mean, everybody understands bathrobe as well. It's clear. Okay, so you might be wearing spotted clothes, striped clothes, plain clothes like me, or checked as well. This is the last pattern. It's where you have squares, basically. You have lots of squares because you've got it's striped across and it's striped down, and so you end up with that checked pattern. I would say though, if you know the Scottish pattern from Scotland, that's tartan. It's a type of checked pattern, but we would call that pattern tartan. It's just quite common up in Scotland. Now, if you hang something up, you hang up your coat when you get home, you hang up your hat. So that just means put your coat on the hanger, on the place wherever you hang it in your house. Okay, if you dress up, this doesn't have an object, by the way. It's just we need to dress up because we're going to a wedding today, something like that, and it means dress well. Put your best clothes on. That's what it means when you dress up. So you usually dress up for a wedding, something like that. But you might dress down, which means dress casually and not in a really smart way. You know, dress up would be smart and well dressed. Dress down means casual or even scruffy. And scruffy, of course, it means the opposite of well dressed or smart. I think I'm quite often quite scruffy. Now, if the trend will catch on, or the fashion will catch on, it means that the fashion will spread. The trend will spread and everybody will be wearing this, you know, whatever it is, this fashion, this trend that is spreading. So we use it catch on for fashions, for trends. And so you might say the trend for wearing polo-necked striped sweaters is catching on. Yeah, something like that. And a polo neck is one of those ones that comes up and it's got a little neck around at the top. Instead of a collar, it's got a neck that goes around, you know, I call it a neck. It's got a piece of material that goes around your neck and keeps your neck warm. Yeah, it's literally, it comes up like that at the top. Yeah, and it's here around your neck. Yeah, so we call that a polo neck when it warms up your neck. And we call it a V-neck if it's like my one at the moment. Yeah, that's a V-neck if you can see the letter V. So that would be a V-neck sweater or a V-neck jumper. Okay, I want to quickly mention the difference between a jumper and a cardigan. This is a jumper, I'd call it a sweater, because a cardigan usually is like a jumper, like a sweater, but it very often has buttons at the front or maybe a zip. But that's the difference, basically. A cardigan you can open and close. You can undo a cardigan. I'm going to do these words in a second, but you can unbutton, you can undo a cardigan. Usually you can't with a sweater or a jumper. Although this, I have got a zip here, but it doesn't go all the way to the bottom. And that's why I wouldn't call it a cardigan. We also have trainers, or in America, sneakers. Yeah, this is sports shoes, running shoes. We say trainers in the UK. They say sneakers in the US. Okay, and there's also a waistcoat. Now, a waistcoat is that thing which you wear on your top.